Hello, GCF. This is Lisa Darrow coming to you with this week's set of community group questions. We've entered a new series at GCF for the Advent season, those 4 weeks leading up to Christmas. The series is called Fear Not, and the story that Pastor Jason opened with this week was the story of Zechariah in the temple. Now, Zechariah was one of many, many priests serving in the temple at this time. And on this particular day, Zechariah was given the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of serving right before the Holy of Holies, lighting the incense altar. Now, the Holy of Holies was that place in the temple where God's presence was known to dwell most heavily. He was most present at that very spot. And so you can imagine Zechariah's excitement at getting this honor of serving in this way on this day. But his excitement is quickly turned to terror bordering more on the lines of what you and I would experience watching a horror film. Because all of a sudden, while serving there before the Holy of Holies, Zechariah is encountered by an angel of the Lord, the very presence of God. Now, the reason Zechariah is so terrified is because it was thought at the time by everyone that if you were to genuinely experience the presence of God, that was the end of you. Honestly, Zechariah was thinking at any point, I'm about to die, because who on earth is worthy to stand in the holy presence of God? Surely not Zechariah, surely not any of us. But the angel quickly says, in fact, the first thing out of the angel's mouth is, do not be afraid, Zechariah. Fear not. And the angel goes on to tell him that God's heart is not in laying Zechariah out or shaming Zechariah or bringing him to his knees in, trembling fear. God's heart is in getting Zechariah ready for this amazing thing that is about to happen. He tells Zechariah that the Messiah is coming, Jesus, the promised one. He is coming to restore Israel to God, to restore the whole world. And Zechariah finds out that he's going to be a part of this amazing thing that is going to happen because he and his wife Elizabeth are going to have a child, and they're going to name him John. Now, this is amazing, first of all, because Zechariah and Elizabeth have been barren. They haven't been able to have children their entire years of marriage. But all of a sudden, in their old age, they are going to have this son. And John, their son, is going to be the one who is going to turn the hearts of Israel back to God and prepare Israel for the coming of Jesus. Their son is going to be the one to do this. So the big idea for this week is fear not. God is getting you ready for Jesus, because just like Zechariah found out that the heart of God is not for shaming him or for terrifying him in any way or making him feel cut off from him in any way, the heart of God lies in getting us ready for Jesus. So I have a few questions for you all to discuss together. The first one is going to be one I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun with. The icebreaker is going to be telling each other a story of a fear that turned into a laugh. So in other words, tell a story about a time that you got scared and then laughed at yourself for getting scared in the first place. So go ahead, talk about that one. There's your first one. Talk about a fear that turned into a laugh. Your second question goes back to this big idea of fear not. God is getting you ready for Jesus. We can often find ourselves just as afraid, or maybe almost as afraid as Zechariah, because we, for some reason, maybe we've had a hard experience or a traumatic experience with a church leader, or maybe we just grew up in a church environment that was very strict. And we tend to think about God in very harsh terms, and we think his heart is maybe just to lay us out, like Zechariah thought he was about to be laid out right there in the temple. But no, God's heart is in getting us ready for him, in getting us ready for more of Jesus. So your second question is, how does understanding God's heart for getting us ready, how does that change the way we think about our relationship with God? There's your second one. And your third question is, what area of your life do you think God might be moving in and getting you ready for more of Jesus? Now, here's a hint. Sometimes, actually often, these areas of our life may seem at the time to be the most scary or the most stressful at first glance. These are the areas that we can often find ourselves overwhelmed by. But maybe, just maybe, they're the ones that God is really working in and getting us ready for more of Jesus. Talk about those with each other and then pray together over these things and ask for God's love to overwhelm fear and make all of us ready for greater things, for more of Jesus and the greater things that he wants us to be a part of. So I hope you've enjoyed your discussions together, and I pray that you can carry these things with you over the course of this week. Fear not, everyone. God's getting us ready. God bless.